Big breaking news as the Vision is seemingly no more, with Bron Breakker, Big Bronson Reed and Paul Heyman turning on World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins at the conclusion of WWE Monday Night Raw from Perth, Australia. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrest News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's begin with the shocking conclusion to this Monday's edition of WWE Monday Night Raw on Netflix. Of course, the show airing earlier in the day from Perth, Australia. And the Vision have turned on their leader. On the October 13th edition of WWE Monday Night Raw, the Vision would open the show with Seth Rollins patting himself and his faction on the back for their performances at WWE Crown Jewel Perth on Saturday. To close out the show, the trio would attack the new number one contender for Seth Rollins' World Heavyweight title. We'll talk about that in just a second, but it led to the faction standing tall right as the show was about to go off the air. However, in a shocking moment, Bron Breakker would spear Seth Rollins, leaving both Bronson Reed and Paul Heyman shell-shocked. Once Breakker spoke to Reed, he would also turn on Rollins, hitting a vicious tsunami on the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Paul Heyman then had a decision to make and ultimately decided to raise the pair's hands, with Breakker raising the World Heavyweight Championship to actually close out the show. Now, as mentioned previously, which we'll get into a second, there was a number one contender crown for the World Heavyweight Championship on this show. We'll talk about that in just a second. But what are your thoughts on this shocking implosion of the Vision, and where do you think Seth Rollins goes from here? Let me know your reaction to it in the comment section below. Now, as I mentioned, we have a brand new number one contender for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, and it's going to be very interesting to see how this one plays out, because CM Punk has earned a shot at the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, defeating LA Knight and Jey Uso in the main event of today's edition of WWE Monday Night Raw. Punk picked up the victory after hitting the GTS on Jey. Knight was tossed out of the ring by Jey prior to the finish. Punk will now face Seth Rollins at a later date for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Seemingly, though, Rollins will not have the Vision in his corner. Punk won the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam over the summer, but his reign lasted just mere minutes as Rollins cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase after revealing that his knee injury was nothing but a work. So if we get any more details as to when Seth Rollins will defend the World Heavyweight Championship against CM Punk, of course, we'll let you know in a future video. Now, a major title change has taken place today in the form of a brand new IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, but it's not a common New Japan Pro Wrestling star that's actually holding the title. It's an AEW wrestler who does also have a contract with New Japan Pro Wrestling, must be pointed out. Konosuke Takeshita has captured the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship at New Japan's King of Pro Wrestling, defeating now former champion Zack Sabre Jr. in the main event. The finish saw Takeshita hit the power drive knee for the victory. After the match, Takeshita said that he knows a lot of people are upset he is the new champion and challenged anyone to step to him. Hiroki Goto confronted Takeshita, declaring that he was next in line. Takeshita asked where the young talent was. This marks the first reign as IWGP World Heavyweight Champion for Takeshita. Zack Sabre Jr.'s reign ends at 106 days. He made 2 successful title defenses. Of course, Takeshita earned this opportunity at the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship by winning the G1 Climax tournament this year. Instead of using his title shot at Wrestle Kingdom 20, though, he decided to cash in his chance at the King of Pro Wrestling event, and he was successful in doing so, and is the brand new IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. Let's go over to last night's TNA Bound for Glory pay-per-view, and we have a brand new TNA World Champion. The TNA World Championship, the most coveted title in total non-stop action wrestling, has returned to TNA as Mike Santana got the better of WWE NXT's Trick Williams at Bound for Glory on Sunday. Williams' reign with the title ended after Santana hit him with his finisher, Spin the Block, twice on the WWE superstar. Santana, who came to the ring with AAA's Conan, brawled with Williams even before the match started, Early in the match, the WWE star landed the trick kick on the TNA star, who kicked out to keep his title hopes alive. Williams tried every trick in the book to retain his title, which included taunting Santana's daughter, who was ringside, busting open Santana after throwing him into the ring post, and even had his lawyer interfere. In the end, the former AEW star landed a spin the block 2 times on Williams and once on the WWE superstar's lawyer to secure his first TNA World title. Now, immediately after the win, Santana seemed to face his first challengers, but Nick Nemeth and Frankie Kazarian, who had jointly won the Call Your Shot gauntlet to earn a shot at the world title, came down to the ring. Nemeth, thankfully for Santana, was taken out by a returning Elijah, while Santana landed the spin the block on Kazarian to keep hold of his title for now. He then went on to celebrate the title with his daughter in what was an emotional moment for the TNA star. Santana had previously lost to Williams twice, once on NXT and the other coming at TNA's Slammiversary pay-per-view back in July. His win will please several people in TNA, like Tommy Dreamer, who was not pleased with the WWE NXT superstar holding the TNA World Championship. Now, Dark State ruined what some had called a bit of a dream match last night at Bound for Glory. TNA X-Division champion Leon Slater and NXT's Javon Evans competed in what both men called one of the youngest dream matches in history when they faced off for the title at TNA Bound for Glory yesterday. But the match, which was even extended by 5 minutes after coming to a time limit draw, was interrupted by WWE NXT's Dark State, infuriating the TNA fans in attendance and on social media. Evans and Slater's match went to a 20-minute time limit draw. Following the bout, fans chanted "Let them fight," bringing out TNA Director of Authority Santino Marella, who ordered the men 5 minutes extra to attempt to determine a winner. Evans hit Slater with a drop kick and went for a pin, but the champion kicked out. Slater dodged an OG cutter and countered into a roll-up. Evans rolled outside after taking a big move from Slater, and the champion flew over the top to take him out. When they were back in the ring, staring each other down from opposite corners, the lights went out, and out came Dark State. Saquon Sugars, Cutler James, and former NXT Tag Team Champions Osiris Griffin and Dion Lennox took to the ring to beat down Evans and Slater. Both champion and challenger took Dark State's finisher, and the NXT faction stood tall in the ring as fans chanted "F these guys." The commentary team pondered if the attack was a retaliation on TNA by Dark State after they lost the NXT Tag Team Championships to the Hardy Boyz last week during the NXT vs TNA Showdown special. The TNA and NXT Showdown isn't over though, with Matt Cardona set to take on Josh Briggs tomorrow. As of this recording, there's no word on whether Slater will join Evans to take on Dark State on the show. And finally, speaking of the Hardy Boyz, we got one final match between the Hardys and the Dudleys last night at TNA Bound for Glory. The Hardys and the Dudleys capped off their legendary rivalry with one final match at TNA Bound for Glory, where both the TNA and NXT tag team titles were on the line. The Hardys, who held both titles entering into the match, retained it after successfully getting one over the Dudleys. Team 3D brought along with them tables and were joined by Spike Dudley, who presented them with their trademark glasses. The Hardys, to match the Dudleys' tables, brought with them ladders, which would be used quite a bit later in the match. Jeff was put through a table by the Dudleys, while his brother Matt then went through one after he tried to put Bubba Ray through one. The highlight of the match was a swanton bomb by Jeff, who performed it on Devon from the top of the ladder. He then landed another swanton bomb, this time on Bully. With Devon beaten and out of the ring, Bully conceded defeat and allowed the Hardys to put him through a table for the Hardy Boyz to get the victory and retain both sets of titles. The Hardys then helped Bully up before Devon joined them in the ring as the four embraced each other. Before they left the ring, the Dudleys removed their boots and gave them to the Hardys, marking the end of their wrestling careers as a tag team anyway. The retirement of the Dudleys was also confirmed with Bully's post on X following the match. The match was the Dudleys' first match in over a year, which was also the last time Devon wrestled, who has wrestled sporadically in recent years due to a back injury. The Hardys had come into the match in great form as they had scored yet another tag team title, the HOG Tag Team Championships, just the day before the Bound for Glory pay-per-view. But there you go, guys, the latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right-hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.